Hey guys, Vera Sweeney here from Permission to Hustle and wanted to do a quick chat this afternoon and just talk to you a little bit about the power of the internet and the limitation of the mind. And that is just a really great summation of how I was feeling all day today. And I just wanted to do sort of like a brain dump on you guys and give you just my personal sort of experience today with Permission to Hustle and how I have been keeping myself prisoner over fear and over failure and over what ifs, and all those things have just been blockages to my path of success. And I don't think that I am alone in this. I think this is something that people tend to do over and over again. And I just think the more we talk about things like this, the better it is that we don't feel so alone. And then maybe we can find courage within ourselves to go after our own dreams. So, let's just talk a little bit about this podcast, and let's just talk a little bit about the fear of technology, as an influencer, as a social media expert, or as somebody who lives their lives online. The further and further we get away from my starting point, the less and less I seem to know about technology. And you know what? That's just a real reality that I have to deal with. When I started in 2005, I actually was a business consultant, and it was all HTML, and I had that. I got it. I was able to just sort of build out my own websites. It was really easy. Any sort of site changes that I need to do, I could figure it out on my own. I didn't really need anybody. I never had a developer. Coding, my husband and I handled everything. And nowadays, a lot of stuff is happening, and I need help. I need help, and and some stuff makes me shy away from attempting things because I don't feel like I have even a firm grasp or a firm understanding of what is needed to even happen. I don't even understand what is asked of me. And so that fear of understanding and that lack of even of understanding the concept. Sometimes I don't even know what the question is. That holds me back, and that keeps me really standing still. And so, all that being said, that's why this podcast has taken so very long. Stand still, stuck in mud. I can't process how to do this. I don't know where to start. I don't understand it. I don't know how to listen to it. I don't know where the people are. I don't know how to translate the files. I don't know what equipment I need. I don't know how to do this. And so even though I had the passion in my heart, even though I wanted so very intently to work hard on this and get the message out on a different form, on a different platform, because I recognized that there were people out there sort of consuming in this way, I couldn't conceptually, mentally, I couldn't wrap my head around it. I just didn't understand how to do this. And so, it took years, and how sad it is to say that it took years of me marinating in the fact that I was fearful to even address it, even to open up Pandora's box. I can't do that. I don't understand how to do that. And so I just sat down today. I sat down today and I said, I can't waste another second of saying that I am incapable. Because if there are people in this universe that are capable, then I am capable. This is not brain surgery. I am not nobody's giving me a scalpel. I'm not walking into a surgery here, and I'm not being given, this is man's gonna live or die if you don't cut his brain open the right way. This is not what this is. This is PR, not the OR, right? This is sort of like a funny thing that I've heard a lot of PR companies say in passing. But I just sat down and I said, okay, I have to figure this out. And so I Google searched and I YouTubed and I read and I did what I had to do. I did the due diligence. I actually sat down and I did the homework. And if I didn't do that, then it would have never happened. But I actually had to give myself a few hours. I had to study. I had to go back to school, and I had to start from square one. And I had to forgive myself for not knowing, and I had to go back and really call some friends up. I called Amira Martin up from Cool Hip Parents, which is another really great podcast if you want to check it out. and I called her up and I said, I don't understand. My titles are saying untitled. What does that mean? And what do I do about my RSS feed? I asked her the questions because she was somebody that I trusted, and I did the homework, and I called the experts, and I read what I needed to read, and that's what you have to do when you're afraid of something. You sort of address it head on, and it took me 4 years to do that. And so I think that's something that I want to put out there. If there's something that you're afraid of, if it's SEO, you're afraid of not being able to process SEO, so you don't deal with it, and so your web pages are suffering because you can't process SEO because it's above your pay grade and you don't understand what it is that Google's asking of you. If you can't process pitching because you're so fearful of rejection, because you don't know how to put yourself out there because you're a wallflower, if you can't process YouTube because you can't get out of your skin because you're intimidated, because you don't know how people will take after you, how they will receive you, then you'll never know, and you'll never grow and receive the next level. You'll never get to that next level because we are holding ourselves back. We are the only people that are holding ourselves back from these opportunities. And so I just wanted to put this really quick podcast out there and say, do not be like me and have something literally at the tip of our fingertips. The internet makes everything possible. The internet is an open book. It is the encyclopedia in pill form. It is anything and everything that we ever want in our lives at our fingertips. And it is something that we could absolutely forever reach out. 2 o'clock in the morning, I could wake up and say, you know what, I really want to understand hashtags on YouTube more. Let me see the best way to utilize that, and it will be available to me. There is no teacher that I have to wait for in a classroom at 9 o'clock in the morning. My professor is ready and waiting with a hot cup of coffee anytime, any place, any hour. She will meet me. And so I just want you to keep that in mind. Whatever thing it is that you want to learn, it is waiting for you. So get rid of those barriers and get rid of that fear and find that thing that you cannot process. What is that thing that you cannot process? What is that thing that you cannot figure out, you cannot obtain, you cannot learn, and you're dying to know it because you know that it's going to take you to the next level. You know it's going to fill your heart. You know it's everything that you want to do and more. And tackle it with all that you've got, because we're very lucky. A lot of people say this is a horrible generation to grow up in, and oh gosh, like the kids, and there's going to be no jobs and whatever. There's a lot of truth in a lot of the things that people are saying. But the flip side of that coin is, what a time to be alive, because anything that we want to know, it's right at our fingertips. It's in our phone. It's in our back pocket. I mean, you could be at any restaurant in any country, on any corner, under any lamp light, and you have a question, and Siri's right there trying to ready for your question. And you'll know it within 10 seconds or so. So there's real power in that. And so I encourage you today to just sort of hear this podcast and think about what it is that you've been wanting to do but not really had the opportunity, or the courage, I'd rather say the courage, to figure out, and really just take the time to go and figure it out. So that's my podcast for today. Thanks for listening, and until next time.